Ask Senator John Kennedy, a Republican from the great state of Louisiana. What are your constituents telling you, sir?
Well, David, most of my constituents don't have a very high opinion of Congress under any circumstances. If you ask them, they'll say something to the effect of, do members of Congress suffer from mental illness? No, most seem to enjoy it. That's their attitude. Some are angry. Others find this very odd. I find it odd. Speaker Pelosi is now telling the Senate, you're prevented, or I'm prohibiting you from doing something you really don't want to do,
right,
unless you do it in a way that I approve of. And it's very odd. I mean, what's the old movie line? Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
That's from the movie Airplane, for those who don't know. Let me just ask you, though, because I spent the weekend going back and looking at some old clips from the Watergate hearings. Of course, Nixon left before there was a full impeachment, but essentially was the impeachment process. And there was a Democrat senator, another Southern senator like yourself, named Sam Ervin, who was brilliant. He was a Democrat, but you would have never known it from the hearings itself, because he was pretty much of a nonpartisan attack dog. But what he was investigating was a $400,000 slush fund that was used from campaign contributions to the Nixon reelection campaign in order to pay off a burglary where they were trying to steal secrets from another campaign. I mean, there was a clear, absolute crime that Sam Ervin brilliantly laid out for the American public to see. There weren't any questions about that crime, and that's eventually why Nixon resigned. You're seeing nothing close to either the crime or the statesmanship that you saw back then.
Not only, and I agree with that. Sam Ervin was a fine American. Not only the substance is different, but the process is different. The president was not afforded due process in the House. I mean, you can't beat a rigged game. And the president was not allowed to call his own witnesses. He was not allowed to cross-examine the prosecution's witnesses. He wasn't allowed to offer evidence until the very end. His attorney was not even allowed to participate. And that's why I've said it's if you've been to a carnival, it was as fixed as a carnival ring toss. Now, and I think the American people see that.
Yeah. Well, even some of your Democratic colleagues in the Senate appear to be seeing that. Senator Doug Jones from Alabama may break on impeachment. Take a listen to a soundbite from over the weekend of Senator Jones.
I've been trying to read this. I'm trying to see if the dots get connected. If that is the case, then I think it's a serious matter. I think it's an impeachable matter. But if those dots aren't connected and there are other explanations that I think are consistent with innocence, I will go that way too.
We just have 20 seconds, but what do you think? Will other senators go the way of Senator Jones, who appears to be leaning towards acquittal?
I have a lot of respect for Doug Jones. He's a very intelligent, thoughtful guy. I don't know how he will vote if we ever get the case, but I think he will listen carefully to both sides. That's what I think every senator will do, unlike the process in the House.
Senator John Kennedy, a pleasure to see you, Senator. Thank you very much, and very best to your family. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, sir.
You too, David.
Thank you very much. Coming up next, we've got the